Hey all, so I'm working on the J10 today. Drained the gas out because the sending unit is no longer working again. When I first got the Jeep 2 years ago, it wasn't working, but I managed to get it working. And one day I decided to, or I needed the gas out of it, so I had to siphon gas out of the tank. And after I did that, the sending unit just hasn't worked since. So I never know how much gas I actually have in there. Apparently I had about 12, 13 gallons in there, and yeah, so I completely drained it. I took it out, and it looks like this JB Weld fuel putty that I put on the welds when I had to cut this huge patch out of the gas tank and weld it. Apparently it doesn't work very well because it looks like it's leaking gas, pinhole leak somewhere out of this. I'm not too worried about that though, but I need to take this stuff off and maybe find a different putty or something. So, but anyway, I took the little nut or whatever off of the sending unit. You just got to take a screwdriver and kind of get it on the corner right here and smack it with a hammer, and it twists off. And then the sending unit, I think, it just pops off. The rubber gasket was kind of just sticking to it. And to be honest, it looks like this rubber gasket is actually in really good shape, which is actually a good thing because I don't have a replacement right now. So let's pull this sending unit out of here and see what this looks like. There's the float and there's the filter sock. This thing will focus. So this filter sock actually looks pretty good. I'll probably just leave this one alone. Yeah, I'm gonna let it dry up and see, but that looks pretty damn good to me. Especially compared to the one on the Wagoneer. The Wagoneer was pretty bad, so sending unit is not all rusty or anything like that, so let's see what it looks like on the inside here. So immediately I can tell you the reason why the sending unit doesn't work, and that's because this float has somehow got itself stuck on the opposite side of the pickup tube. So that pretty much solves that issue. I'm going to hook this up real quick on the Jeep though. Hook this up on the Jeep real quick though and test it to see if it actually works now. Alright everybody, so I'm just resting the sending unit on this filler vent tube right here. When you fill up the gas tank, this is the vent tube. Now this is a 76 gas tank. In 76 they didn't actually have vents for the tank itself. You know, they go to charcoal canisters. There's no charcoal canister on a 76 J10. There's no catalytic converters from factory either. So this is like right on the last year before they started adding charcoal canisters and catalytic converters and all that stuff. So anyway, I have the power hooked up to it. I ran a ground directly to the sending unit itself right here. This ground is directly on the frame with that bolt that I put right there. Normally this would have connected to the gas tank itself right here with that little sheet metal screw that I put in there. And we will see if this works or not. So I'm going to lift the float up and down. Right now there's power. The key to power is on. So watch the fuel gauge and let's see if this works or not. I have a feeling it's going to. So right now I'm about halfway, and you can already see the fuel gauge is starting to move. The fuel gauge on these Jeeps are pretty slow, so it takes a while for them to pick up how much fuel is actually in there. So halfway seems to work. Now we're going full tank. I lifted it up all the way. So now we're at a full tank. Still going up a little. So the sending unit works perfectly fine. Now I'm going to drop it back down. And there it goes back down. It's going to go to empty. So this works fine. Sorry, this works fine. There's no fuel in the float as well. The filter sock, it looks like it's been replaced at one point. It looks kind of brand new, but judging by the back, probably not. But it looks really, really clean. I'm not even going to mess with that. The inside of the tank, let's see if I can get in there. Now remember, I refurbished this tank. It was already clean, you know, before. There was no rust or anything inside of it. But if you look, you can see those black specks. That's rubber. So how that rubber got in there, I just figured that out. The actual fuel hose, the supply line is fuel hose, but my mistake is I must have just picked up any black hose that I had. This is a TOC hose, which I believe is transmission line. So I need to take that off and go to the store and get some actual 3/8 fuel line. This is the return line. On further inspection of the filter sock on this thing, it was cracked and pretty much gone. And this just kind of fell apart when I touched it. So I'm not going to be using this. I'm just going to do the same thing I did to the Wagoneer, and I'm just going to put some fuel hose the same length as this one. This is not very long, so it just needs to be a couple inches. So that's what I'm going to do. And also, this is the reason why I changed those fuel lines. I don't know if it'll focus, but the pickup tube is kind of crusty on the inside, so I'm going to stick some kind of wire or something inside of there, you know, through the whole length of the pickup and kind of break up some of the crusty stuff inside of this. I don't want to buy a new pickup. This one does work. It just needs to be cleaned out a little bit. So anyway, so I don't know why I did this. I just grabbed any old hose I had laying around, I guess, and used it as fuel line. I don't know why I didn't think, but this is the supply line. This is TOC hose as well, which is transmission oil cooler hose, and so is this short one down here. So I got to replace this going to the fuel pump and this one. So stupid me. I don't know why I did that, but on top of, you know, this hose right here. So this one is fuel line though. But anyway, I actually tested the ground on the side of the tank that I had screwed in with a sheet metal screw that I showed you guys on that little lip, and I touched the sending unit to the side of the tank, and it does work. So I don't need to add a ground directly to the sending unit. The one right there was fine. So I just took a wire wheel and kind of cleaned this up just a little bit, so there's some shiny metal showing. And the top, I actually need to get my drill with the wire wheel out because this is pretty rusty up there. And then I'll put it back on, and this should be enough ground. So, but that's just, I don't know why I did this with the transmission line. It's just a stupid mistake, I guess. But at least I caught it, you know, before it got any worse. You know what I mean? As far as like black specks in the tank and everything. So I just cleaned the tank out as well. So anyway, I'll return back when everything is hooked back up, and I'll show you guys if it works or not. So, all right. So the sending unit is back in. I cleaned it up. I have the ground just kind of wrapped on here for now because I need to hook it back up. But if you see, the fuel gauge is reading. And the reason why I have the tank tilted is so the floats will, like, you know, float in the air just to see if the fuel tank is reading or not. So let me take this ground off. And you can see it drops back down. Now when I put the ground back on, it goes back up. So this ground right here is just enough. That's all it needs. Anyway, gas tank is back in. I just put the transmission line back on. I don't have 3/8 fuel line and AutoZone and Advanced Auto Parts out here, and where I live in Virginia, they never carry fuel hose in stock, so I have to order it online. So for now, the transmission line will be fine. So, but let's check to see if the sending unit actually reads gas or the fuel level. Turn the key on, and there it goes. So I only put about 5 gallons in there, so it's pretty much empty. But it does read now, so that's good. Turn the key off. And it goes back down. So I just need to put some more gas in this thing and I'm good to go. So quite a simple fix, which is kind of lucky. It's weird how the float crossed arms with the pickup tube, but it is what it is. So simple fix. Allowed me to clean up the grounds as well and remove that filter sock that was kind of crumbling. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that yada yada stuff. I appreciate you all watching. Thanks.